Hi, my name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist, the pre-show. The show starts every Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. and goes until 7. It allows you to get on board, set up your webcam, set up your microphone, find out what we're talking about here today. So if you want to be a part of the show, please feel free to add the Law of Attraction Montreal to your Google circles. You can do that by pressing the red button on the Google Plus page. It should be right there somewhere. And once you're added, you'll get an invitation to the show. So 6:45 to 7 p.m., that allows you the time to get that done. Today we're talking about stress management. So if you want to get in on the conversation, either with your webcam and microphone or with just your microphone, feel free to add us to your circles and to come on board. So just hang in there. If you're early for the show starts in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to be talking about stress management. We'll be getting to all the good stuff here today. If you want to participate just by asking questions, you can post anywhere that you can find us: YouTube, Google+, Meetup page, Facebook, Twitter, Law of Attraction Montreal, happyforachange.com. Whatever you find us on Google+, right here below, just write a message, write a comment, write a question, and hopefully we can get to that during the show. If you have a moment of appreciation that you want to share and you don't want to share it on camera, you can write us a little message and we'll read it on the air. So that's it for the pre-show. We're going to be holding on here, waiting till everybody gets on board. If you're here early, just be a little patient. We're going to get started very soon. I'm glad that this time I actually pressed start broadcast. Last show didn't get put on the air because I forgot to record it. We did the whole show, and lovely show, great people, great questions, great energy, great insight. Dead air, nothing happening. In the meantime, everybody's messaging, can't see the show, can't see the show. I think it's a technical problem, not a technical problem, user error, right here. I'm the user. So if you'll give me a few minutes, I'm still picking out the joke for today. I'm trying to decide what joke isn't too inflammatory, obscene, vulgar, non-PC. So let's hope I pick a good one here today. I am looking for my cards. Where art thou? There we are. All I wanna do is have some fun. I've got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Where art thou? Just looking for my markers, and I can't find my markers. That's okay. If you're just tuning in, you're watching The Appreciationist, the pre-show. Show starts at 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Pre-show starts at 6:45, goes to 7. Allows people to get the technical bugs out there, work it out, get on board. So if you want to be part of the show, you have a webcam and a microphone, you can join us. If you just have a microphone, you just want to come on with your voice, you're camera shy, don't worry about it. You just use your microphone. Come on board. We're going to test it out, make sure you look good, make sure we hear you, make sure there's no noise. And all you have to do is add us, the Law of Attraction Montreal, to your circles. You'll see a red button on the Google Plus page. If you're on a Meetup page, you can find the instructions of how to get on board right there. If you don't feel like being on webcam or microphone, don't worry about it. You can just participate by text, just watch, enjoy the show. If you have any suggestions for next week's show, something you want to talk about, a subject, feel free to post it in the comments anywhere that you can find us. You can find us on meetup.com/TLOA-MTL. That's meetup.com/TLOA, the Law of Attraction, MTL, Montreal. You can also just search for the Law of Attraction Montreal on the Meetup page. And when you find us there, you can write a comment for next week's show. Otherwise, you can post it down here below under the video on YouTube or on Google+, or send us a message anywhere that you can find us. A lot of ways to find us, a lot of ways to contact us. I don't have it up on the screen here. I know you don't have a pencil and you're writing it down, so just any way that you can find us. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you can contact us somewhere. Just post a comment down below. Waiting for my friends to get on board. We'll see who's going to be participating in the show. Make sure that everything is working. Hopefully my audio is working. I did a whole show where my audio wasn't working, and that's no fun, is it? gonna pick my jokes now. Hang in there. Jokes are set. Today's jokes, the words are peace and surrender. Peace and surrender. So if you want to vote on what joke we read, just use either one of those words, peace and surrender. If you're watching the show starts in a few minutes at 7 p.m. Every Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. to 7 p.m. we have the Appreciationist pre-show. The pre-show allows you to get on board, get set up, get your microphone working, get your webcam working, work out those kinks. It also allows time for everybody to get on board, anybody who wants to participate. You can participate with your webcam and your microphone, or just your microphone if you're a little camera shy. Don't worry about it. Just add the Long Section Montreal to your circles by hitting that red button on the Google Plus page, or by searching for us on Google Plus with Long Section Montreal. And when we get your request, then we will add you to our list, and you'll be invited to the show. The only way you can participate with the show is if we actually invite you in. I mean, can you imagine if just random people just popped into the show live on the air? So we actually have to invite you. You don't have to be invited to just watch the show. You probably know that right now because you're watching. And if you sign up, if you add us to your circles, then you'll get an invitation to come. I'll be sending out the invitation right now to my buddies. Here we go. If you're having difficulty, if you're having trouble, you can post a message on our Google Plus page, YouTube page, Meetup page, anywhere that you can find us. I should get it here, right here in front of me. I can help you with technical problems before the show starts, so you have a few minutes. I just sent out an invite to everybody who is interested, who've already added us to their circles, and hopefully we'll get some people on board here. And Dimitri's here already. Hi, Dimitri. I see your microphone's on mute. I can hear you now, I think.
Yeah.
Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. What happened was when I got into Hangouts, I was using another application was using a microphone, so I didn't have access to it. So it automatically logged me in as mute.
Okay, I get that.
How's Mexico? Oh, before we start, there's other people trying to get in and they can't.
Okay, so I just sent out the invite. Do you know who's trying to get in?
Valerie.
Valerie? Okay, so I'm going to invite her specifically.
There's something else I wanted to talk to you about, but do that and then I'll tell you.
Okay. Let me make sure no one's adding me here. This one. Okay. Send out the invites again. Make sure people are able to get in here. So everybody who has added us to their circles, you should have just received an invite. Maybe check your mail, make sure your Google Hangouts is working, and you'll be able to click on that to get into the show. I hope. I'm told. I know it changes. So we're just going to spend a few more minutes trying to get people in the show. I mean, no sense skipping over them. Yeah, Dimitri.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Comment Tracker in Google Toolbox?
Common Tracker. No, I'm not.
Okay. In theory, I haven't tried it. In theory, it's a source for all the comments that exist. So if someone writes something in meetup.com, it'll present it there for you. In Google, in Facebook, so you could redirect all your comments there, and you just view that page for any kind of comment.
Interesting. Comment Tracker.
In theory.
That's very interesting. I think I'm going to check that out.
I haven't tried it. Maybe for certain services it doesn't work, but Comment Tracker, I just took a quick look, and that's the description, the idea that I get.
Awesome. Yeah, I see it here. Definitely, I'll have to check that out. Very cool. Thank you.
Also, what's tonight's topic? Because you said acceptance, and then you agreed to Betty's comment. So is it stress strategies or acceptance?
Stress management. So if memory serves, I believe we did acceptance last time. Unfortunately, it didn't get on the air. But because Betty asked for stress management today, I decided to sort of honor that request. If you want to do acceptance again, we can do that next week.
Okay.
Stress management. And I think it's a week, at least for me, and I guess for Betty, it's a good topic because we're dealing with stressful situations.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Valerie.
Hey, Val.
How are you? Hi, Dimitri. Hi, Peter.
Peter, you have to tell us what happened in Mexico.
I will. I'm leaving the 24th, so.
Oh, you still haven't gone?
No, we're going 24th to, I don't know, 2 weeks after the 24th.
Okay.
We haven't gone yet. Although I'm going to Toronto first on the 21st to do our first event. Happy for a change. We got some amazing speakers for our Toronto event. I mean, I just lucked out. You can't even believe it. I guess I'll share it during a moment of appreciation.
That's cool.
Man, this has been a rough. This has probably been the hardest time of my entire life.
Really?
Including my birth. Yeah, I do.
Come on, you don't remember it.
I remember. It was horrible. I had no room. Tom was in there with me.
Yeah, of course you'll blame it on your brother.
Like, we came out early just so we can get out. We were like, we can't stay in there anymore. So yeah, this week has been really rewarding and really tough at the same time. Valerie, thank you so much for your contribution. I mean,
oh, you're very welcome. I wanted to. I mean, anyway, somehow I was waiting for you to send me something because I had kind of seen what all the videos, but it's somebody else who sent it to me. So I was expecting to get a message from you somewhere, and I guess it was on Facebook and I never saw it. Anyway, so I'm glad that Sam wrote to me yesterday.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Sam has been just, I mean, without Sam this week wouldn't, this past 2 weeks wouldn't have worked out. Awesome. I'm so happy. I hope you got my message on Meetup, right?
The Meetup.
About our event in Montreal ticket?
Oh, yeah. I asked you what date it was, and then eventually I saw the date, so I didn't see that. down, and yeah, I'll be there for sure. Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah, I also want to let you know, Dimitri, I don't know if you're going to be available on the 24th of October. I know it's far away, but just so you know, those of you who've participated on the Appreciationist, you'll be getting a free pass for our event.
Okay.
As a thank you. I mean, you guys really make the show. You guys keep coming back. You know, 3 episodes got trashed, and you guys are still willing to do this, so I appreciate it. And the last one wasn't any technical issue, just because I didn't press start broadcast. I did press it this time. It's on. I see it on right there. So as a thank you, I really want you guys to come out. So I hope you can do that. I'll be sending you a message.
Yeah, thank you. I think I hope I wrote it on my agenda somewhere. I don't know. I've been busy myself. It's just the whirlwind of all kinds of stuff. So.
Seems like that type of season. There's just something about the change of seasons. I've just noticed it year after year. Things sort of get up in the air. Doesn't matter if you're going from, you know, summer to fall or coming into spring. It's like a change that happens. I don't know. But oh, let me try to make sure that Beatty gets in here. Did your Google Hangouts ring, or did you get an email from me?
I got an email from you, and then I went on Google Plus, and then some. So it's never at the same place. That's the thing. It was at the top, and I just clicked there, but it's never on the same spot. Sometimes it's just a little bubble, and it's green. Sometimes it's a video that's green. Sometimes it's a gray video. It's never same spot. So it's I couldn't find it when I went by myself. So, and even with your first invite, I couldn't see it.
Weird. That's very strange. I don't know where that is. Even when I test it out, sometimes I get different things. When I invite myself, it just rings and I just answer it. So I really don't know. But my brother, he's a web developer. He creates websites, and he's never been able to figure out how to come onto the show. So that's how difficult it is.
Well, so then Dimitri, we're really good.
That's right. Yeah, my brother just gave up. He's like, I can't even figure it out. I'm like, you make websites. What are you talking about? But you guys are here, so that's very good. Let me just make sure I'm not getting any messages here. Plug in. That's fine. So today we're going to be talking about stress management.
That's a good point. I thought Beatty is so brave to just say what she needs, and it's such a service to all of us every time. I think, really.
That's right. Isn't it incredible? It's interesting when you meet someone like that. She just this willing participation, like truly willing participation. It's really a beautiful thing to see, especially since I'm not that way at all. Like I tend to, until I started doing this, I just kept my issues to myself. But it's good, very good. I hope we can give her some advice today. I don't have all the answers for this topic.
No? Oh, man.
I have all the answers in the world, but not for this one. Well, my answer for everything is pretty much the same. It's just sometimes it's hard to see how it might fit in with what you're doing. You know, we'll be talking about habit. The only way to change anything is the same way it was created, by creating a new habit. It's just that I guess there are different tips and tricks and ways to keep that up.
Right.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't find an app today, but that's perfectly fine.
You have your jokes?
I have some jokes, yeah. We'll see if they're winners, but the really funny ones were very wrong. I don't know if that's good.
Just one thing. Betty said that she's having some family problems, so she may make it or not. So I'm not sure if she's going to make it.
Yeah, so that might be the case. So what we'll do is we'll wait another 60 seconds. I'll invite her one more time, and then we'll start the show. When she comes in, hopefully she'll be able to see it in any case.
I know you don't like leaving your phone number out there, but it would be nice if there's a phone number people can call if they're having problems logging in. Just to tell the person, or some kind of maybe put a comment on meetup.com.
That's right. Actually, what I can do, I mean, I can put my phone number, but what I can do if people want to do that is put my Skype thing where people can contact me on Skype, but not everybody has Skype, so.
Yeah, like something that they can easily access. Like if someone's having computer problems, they can still access, talk to you and tell you, listen, I want to join, give me 10 minutes, or forget about me. And guys, continue.
Yeah. Maybe we can do something. I know not everybody uses it, but maybe we can do something with Facebook, Facebook messages. That's an easy way to connect with people. But maybe I'll just give them one or two options to figure it out. There we go. Let me just make sure he's not putting messages online, then we'll start the show. Who wants to go first? In terms of introductions and a moment of appreciation.
I don't want to go first today.
Oh, okay, I'll go first then.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dimitri.
Cool.
I have a very good moment of appreciation.
All right.
Awesome.
I have two, and one is like priceless, but I can't say it today because it actually fits in to acceptance. So I wanted to say it. I thought today was going to be on acceptance. I wanted to say it when it's on acceptance because it will have more meaning.
Well, since you're teasing us, what if we do both of them today? Or just save it for next week?
I don't mind. Sure, I don't mind.
They kind of go hand in hand, acceptance and stress management, because really that is part of the answer for stress management. Sort of willing to accept what's happening without sort of pushing against it in terms of it being wrong or unfair or stuff like that. So we'll do both. Acceptance. Okay, let me update my.
Dimitri, what did you do to your camera? Is it like a special effect where everything is kind of blurry around you?
It's not the camera. It's Google. It's Hangout Toolbox.
Oh, okay,
allows you to do things like that.
Yeah, I think I've tried to play with it at some point, and I just couldn't do anything. Oh, yeah, I know. Last time I tried to play with it, then I had problems with my computer for like days.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so maybe I won't touch it. No, that's probably not the culprit.
Okay, you guys ready to start the show?
Sure.
Okay, so Dimitri's going to go first, and then our friend Valerie. Okay. What are the what words should we use this week for jokes? Did I choose them? Oh no, I did choose them. Sorry, forget it. I chose them. Can't find my markers, so we're gonna have our ugly pencil here. It's terrible. You know what? I'm sure we used this word before. Now that I think about it.
Doesn't matter. It's probably not the same joke.
No, it's not the same joke. But I like the word. It was a word that was on my heart for these past 2 days. So.
There's a trick for using the word twice.
Say again?
There's a trick for using the same word twice.
What's it?
Have you ever seen two different spellings of the same word? It sounds the same, two different spellings.
Oh.
Well, do the same thing. Just spell it differently, but
That's a good idea.
Give it a different twist.
Does it have to be a real word or just spell it differently? One of the words is surrender. So I can put sir, S-I-R.
Yeah.
Did we use surrender before?
I don't think so.
I
think we did.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
We'll spell it surrender. Mr. Render. Okay.
Yeah, with a hyphen. Like sir, hyphen, render.
Oh, that's a good.
And it's not the same word anymore.
Well, look, it's pretty ugly. Nobody's going to be able to see it anyway, so...
Very white.
Because of the light, we can't see it.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us what it is, and that's it.
I'm living in a mess right now. You know what? I have a pencil. Let's try that one. Surrender. And peace. Okay. You guys think you guys have anything to say on the subject of stress management and acceptance today? Yes.
Of course, we always have
I
some.
don't have anything prepared, but we'll see.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, we're going to have a great conversation here today. We're starting the show. There we go. Hi, my name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist. On today's show, I dropped my pencil. That didn't work out very well. On today's show, we're talking about acceptance and not surrender. The word will come to mind. Stress management, acceptance and stress management. I haven't done the show in a few weeks, and it's a little gone from my head. But before we get to the topic of the show, let's introduce the guests in our room. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Right?
Hi, I'll go first, I guess.
Please.
Hi, my name is Dimitri, and I've been learning about law of attraction the last 3 years, and every week I learn something different. I enjoy learning, and it's just a lot of fun. So I just want this to continue, and I'm meeting a lot of interesting and nice people.
Very cool. Awesome, Dimitri. Great having you here. If you guys have been watching for any length of time, you know Dimitri always has these wonderful ideas, these little tricks, and he's always giving me advice to making the show better. And certainly once we have even just a little bit of time to get that done, we're going to be wrapping up the show, making it far more substantial. And I'm really looking forward to all those suggestions you gave me, especially the comment tracker here today, the intro music, laugh track, titles for people, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, Dimitri, for being here. Last but not least.
Hi, I'm Val. This is a place for fun and for learning every time. So yes, as you were saying, you haven't had the show in about 3 weeks. I missed it terribly, and missed you guys. I wanted to say, Dimitri, because I always forget, the one show you guys had about forgiveness, which I listened to after the fact because I wasn't there. I did some of the exercises you guys were talking about, and it was amazing. Amazing how it helped me and how I could feel myself changing. So this is a kind of difference that this show makes, and it seems very simple, but then it's life-changing sometimes. So that's it. Very grateful.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah, I do remember the show you're talking about. It was really good. It affected me on a deep level. This forgiveness, this reminder to really do it, make yourself do it. Don't wait for something to happen. You can go back and get it done. Valerie, thank you very much for coming here. I really appreciate it. I missed you guys too. My goodness, it's been so long. All the weeks go by, and I keep thinking, oh, I want to do the show. It's medicine for me. It's therapy for me, and I really get a lot out of it. And it's bonus. Hopefully, people who are watching are getting something out of it too. Today we're going to get to the topic of acceptance and stress management. So we have 2 topics here today that are on our hearts. But before we do that, let's do the most important thing for the show. The most important aspect of the show, the reason it's called The Appreciationist, is because I want to give you an excuse to exercise your appreciation muscle. Right? The more you practice appreciation, the more it becomes a part of your experience. So we're going to have a little exercise like we always do, a moment of appreciation, where we look back on the past few days, the past week, and we look back for something that we can appreciate. It could be something really good that we appreciate. It could be something that didn't work out well that we can find value in now. But that exercise of looking back and really making yourself appreciate something, exercising that ability is very important. So our segment is called A Moment of Appreciation, and we're going to have our friend Dimitri go first.
Hi. This is a hard one for me. It's hard because I'm going to give you some personal information that I may ask you to not air after this.
I understand.
But I feel that I need to tell you to express the appreciation that I have for my mother. What happened was, for most of my life, I always felt my mother never defended herself, and because my father is a very dominant man, and my mother never stood up to my dad. And I always felt that my mother's life, both my parents, their life was very hard. They lived a very hard life. And I know my father went through a hard time, and for most of his life he was unhappy, and I know my mother was unhappy too. But recently what I realized, and she told me many times, but I could not understand it, was she lived a very happy life. And I cannot understand it. And what happened was when she came to Canada, she got engaged with my dad, which she didn't know who he was. When she came to Canada, she got married, and then she found out who my father was. And at that point, at that time in her life, there was no. She was very religious. There was no divorce. Okay, and she had to make a decision there. My dad will dominate everything. She totally accepted the situation without any resentment. And she went on to live an amazing life. And I never could understand that. And last week, I understood what she meant when she's saying she's happy. You could accept a situation, but if you have resentment inside, you accept in your mind, not in your heart, and you'll be unhappy.
Right. She
was able to do it at a deep level, and even though my dad was verbally abusive to her, it made her happy. It didn't faze her. And once I realized that, I developed an appreciation for her that I never had before. And for me, that was very special. That was 2 weeks ago. And
wow.
Yeah, so that was a big observation for me. And it took me a while to figure it out. At first, she would tell me and I wouldn't believe it. So.
That is a very powerful story. That is exceptional, and thank you very much for sharing that. Isn't it amazing the gifts that are, I'll say mothers. I grew up with my mother. The gifts that they give us, not necessarily in the words that they say, but in the attitude they have towards life, the perspective they have, the strength that is born out of love, I imagine, right? Love for yourself, love for the people that you're caring about.
And also what I realized is on the outside, it looked like my father was happy and my mother was miserable. And the reality was my mother was happy and my father was miserable. That's the paradox of life.
That's right. That's right. That's incredible. You're bringing up a lot of things that to mind. Even the people that are in my life. My mother, I used to look at her and I used to think, how is it that this is your life and you're happy? You have 6 kids. You're living here, single mother. You're working. You're cleaning houses. How is it that you can do this and wake up every morning at 5, make food for 6 bratty kids, work 3 jobs? How is it that you can do that and still be happy and still fly kites with me and do puzzles with me and make jokes with me? And it's a type of strength that I don't know where it comes from. I sort of hope that as you're growing and you learn, you sort of get it as you get older. But maybe some people are just born with it. I don't know. But you have this key word, resentment, right? When you sort of let go of the resentment over the unfairness of the situation, the difficulty of the situation, then you're going to find the only peace that anyone can find, right? It's not the peace that you find when you do away with all bad things. It's the peace that you find when you find your own strength and your own capacity to experience the joy that you're wanting. I'm really happy that you shared that with us. Whether you want to remove that or not, I'm really happy that you shared that with us. Very cool.
Thank you very much, Dimitri, for doing that.
Yeah.
It's a privilege, really.
I'm going to call my mother right after the show, that's for sure. Call Mom.
What I think is amazing is that I don't know if she ever had any resentment. It sounds like she just found a place where she just accepted it and was fine with it and could find happiness in it. I don't know. It sounds very wise from the start.
No, not really, because
okay.
Well, I did a lot of alchemy, which is a deep hypnosis, and I was able to go in the past, and what I realized is when she was pregnant, she had a lot of stress because she wouldn't accept the situation, and I was absorbing that stress. And then through meditation, I was able to feel that stress coming out of me.
Okay.
So at one point in time, she wasn't accepting.
Okay.
But then something happened. I'm not sure what happened. Something happened, and she changed.
Okay.
I don't know what that could be, and only she can come close to answering that question. If I had to hazard a guess, there's something about becoming a parent, a mother. I don't know if you're an only child. I don't know if she had kids before you. You said she was pregnant with you, and then this transformation occurred afterwards. Sometimes you can find when you're caring for another person, when you're loving another person, when you're identifying that you're more than your physical form, then sometimes it's easier to find that strength because you're like being strong for someone else. I don't know if that's the same, but you remind me. My mother, when I was young, my father wasn't around, and I understand that my father wasn't, always a nice person, and let's put it nicely. And my mother never told me anything bad about my father. She was told, don't fill your kids' heads with hate. Don't fill their head with dislike or resentment. And she didn't pass that on to me. She didn't give that to me. I never sensed any resentment on her part either. And I grew up, and I never felt bad, or I never felt like my dad was wrong or bad. Like I never was trained to see him in that light. And she gave me a gift by her letting go of her resentment, letting go and accepting the situation and finding the love and the strength in it. She gave me the freedom, the gift of not being in the chains of resentment, of not feeling that burden. And so I see other people, they feel sad that they didn't grow up with a father, and I never even thought, it never even occurred in my head that I was missing out on something, that I was lacking something, that there was something wrong. And that was always because, and still to this day I know it's because of her strength, of her willingness to not pass on the baggage of her life. And the only way I can see that she did that was that she made peace with it within herself.
Yeah.
So, very cool, very nice. I know we can talk all night about that, but I want to hear Valerie's moment of appreciation.
It's a lot simpler. But it was last week, I believe it was Thursday. A friend of mine, she had her sister visiting here for 2 weeks from England, and so I met the two of them, and we had decided to go over to the States, to Lake Placid for the day. It's one of my favorite places. So I took them there, and we had a really, really gorgeous day. But what happened is that when I picked them up, they had bad news from England, from people from their family. One had died and another one was in the hospital, so they were not doing too great when I picked them up. But still, we managed. I mean, once we got there, it was just such a beautiful day. We really appreciated everything: our meal, where we were, the walking around the lake. It's almost like we were in a different world. And I think because we appreciated every little bitty thing that we did, we came back, and I was kind of struck by the difference in their energy or their moods when I dropped them off at night once the day was over. So there was a big difference, and I was very grateful for that.
Very good, very good. The benefit of social interaction, the benefit of connecting with others, the benefit of realizing or experiencing the fact that you're not alone. When you're going through hard times, it's really good to have other people there who can be a satellite that can connect you to, maybe not absolute joy, but at least some sense of comfort and some sense of union. So I'm really glad that you were able to have that experience. Did you feel when the bad news, did it affect you negatively? Were you down because of that news, or was that a little more remote?
I was down for about 5 minutes, and I did ask them, "Are you guys sure you still want to go? Are you okay with that?" They're like, "Yeah, no, we need it." So I felt bad for about 5 minutes, but then I didn't dwell on it at all. It was like, okay, let's just. But at the same time, I respected how they were. Like, I think I had a higher level of energy, but I kind of went down a bit just to, let them catch up, I guess. I don't know if that's how you would say it, but eventually just on the road, just talking, and I got to know her sister because I didn't know her, so I got her talking about what she liked, as you usually do when you get people talking about their passion, then people automatically, they just shine. So that made a big difference on the way. And then once we got there, it's just I didn't even need to do anything. One of them already knew it, and the other one was just discovering and loved it right away. So I think that just set the tone.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean by being a satellite, right? By you talk about you dip down so that you're a little closer to them, and then you're able to all sort of move up together. It's good to have that. What causes you not to dwell on it? Why do you think you didn't dwell on it?
Because my friend, the one who lives here, who's originally from England as well, she's probably the most positive person in my life, and she's the type of person who doesn't dwell on the negative. So she just her presence always reminds me of that. I mean, sometimes I remind her, I tell her it's okay to be sad. It's like you probably, don't deny it. Don't go into denial either, But no, she doesn't do that. So for me, it was like, no, I'm not. I don't know. She held that intention for me, and I just stuck to that.
Very good. So she was the strongest satellite. That's very cool.
Yeah, definitely she is. Yeah.
Awesome. That's very cool. Thank you guys so much for sharing a moment of appreciation. I had a very tough week this week, but there's a lot of things to appreciate. We launched our Indiegogo campaign for the Happy for a Change tour, and I was really sort of every contribution it just touches your heart. I'm a hermit. I spend most of my time indoors. I don't really talk to a lot of people, and when people who don't really know me that well, or I don't spend a lot of time with, or I don't wish happy birthday or do these things, that they're willing to participate with me and to contribute and to help make my dream a reality, it just fills me with love and warm feelings, So I had a wonderful time this week launching the tour, and we lucked out big time. For our Toronto event, we have a comedian. His name is Daniel Bingham, and he had a show or a segment or something like that on CTV. He has a critically acclaimed show. A popular comedian. I've seen him perform. It's going to be really cool hearing him talking about pursuing your passion, pursuing your dreams. Then we have an ex-Olympian. She was an Olympic gymnast, and she's going to be speaking at our event. She wrote a children's book. The title exactly about being. We'll be posting it soon, but about living life upside down by being free, freeing yourself to be yourself. And so this Olympian she'll be speaking, and so we have like these really cool speakers who are coming to our events, and they're willing to do it for free. They just love the idea. It's really something powerful to see that other people are going to jump on board for what you're doing. So we're really excited about that. We're setting that in motion. And then we're going to Mexico in a couple of, it's like in no time at all. I'll be 51 degrees, you guys. I'm going to melt. I'm just going to be a puddle of sweat. That's all I'm going to be, just a puddle of salty. Oh my goodness. 51 degrees there, but it's going to be sunny. We're going to be staying there, so I'm really looking forward to that. So we're really busy. A lot to appreciate, and really looking forward to what's going on. We're also going to be starting a new. So I don't know if I told you guys this, but one meetup that we did for Happy for a Change. After the meetup was over, I was speaking with the gentleman who is a student at McGill. So we're going to be starting our McGill chapter for Happy for a Change. And what we're going to be doing is doing some panel discussions. We're going to do weekly or bi-weekly panel discussions, and anybody can come and just listen to us have these conversations. So here we are, we're having this conversation online, but wouldn't it be cool to be in person with an audience there, just hearing these stories, hearing how we're moving forward, understanding how we can change ourselves, change the world. So we're looking forward to that. If you guys want to participate with that, you're always welcome. Always great to have people to talk to and generate conversation. So I'm really excited, full of energy. There's more to talk about, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. Look, moment of appreciation is all fun and good, but let's get to the joke of the week.
Yes.
Okay, joke of the week. We're choosing between the words peace and surrender. Surrender. Peace.
Surrender sounds so good.
One vote for surrender.
Surrender as well.
Oh, I saw a little defiant look in your eyes there. Dimitri.
Thanks,
You don't want to change your answer. Okay.
You want to change it? Okay, last chance, Dimitri. Do you want the other one?
Surrender.
Surrender. Okay, good. Okay, so surrender here. Okay. So again, the words have nothing to do with what the joke is. The word is just a means for choosing the word. If you want to hear about the joke for peace next week, come onto the show and vote. You can also vote by writing a message. Do you guys know there's a new feature to Google Hangouts called Applause that allows viewers to sort of vote up or down certain things by showing their interest in the subject? I haven't seen it here yet. I saw it when I first logged in, so I'm really looking forward to trying that out. That'll be cool for the next show. But right now, let's hear the joke for surrender. 3 buddies die in a car crash, and they go to heaven to an orientation. They are all asked, when you are in your casket and friends and family are mourning upon you, what would you like to hear them say about you? The first guy says, I would like to hear them say that I was a great doctor of my time and a great family man. The second guy says, I would like to hear that I was a wonderful husband and school teacher, which made a huge difference in our children's tomorrow. The last guy replies, I would like to hear them say, look, he's moving.
That's good. That feature worked.
Where did that come from?
I did it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm going to have to learn how to do this.
Very cool. Oh, that was funny. That made my day. Oh, that is.
Or you could do this before the joke.
I'm dying right now. Oh, that's really funny. Oh, that is hilarious. Okay, good. Applause all around. So before we get to our topic, acceptance and stress management, I just want to quickly let you know something that we've already mentioned in our segment, What a Great Idea, but it's a little self-serving. It's about my idea. It's my show. Why not? We're having the Happy for a Change tour. We're going to be going to Montreal, Toronto, New York, Playa del Carmen, and maybe some other cities. And we're going to be spreading this message of organized optimism. We want to be happy on purpose, for purpose. You know, millions of people spend billions of dollars each year on self-help books, seminars, and personal empowerment programs. What if a fraction of that money was sent towards great ideas? We can reshape the world with the power of our intention. We'll be hearing more about that. But let's get to the subject. Acceptance and stress management. Which one do we want to start with? Let's start with acceptance. Actually, we can talk about both of them sort of in unison. So let's start with stress, and then we'll move on to acceptance. Stress is... Okay, so I want to tell you guys something. Do you guys believe that stress is harmful to your health?
I do, but I've been to your group discussions when we talked about it, so I won't give any spoiler. But I still do. I do. I just so then it is bad for me.
Right.
It's how you handle the stress. If you receive stress and you have an action plan, then stress in itself is not bad for you. But if you just receive the stress and you don't do anything, you just dwell on that stress, it's very harmful to you.
That's right. So that's exactly why it's called. We're calling this stress management. I'm just going to look up the name of someone here real quick. So there's a TED Talk by a psychologist. Her name is Kelly McCognigle, and she starts her TED Talk by saying that she wants to atone for her years of sort of wrong misinformation. She kept telling her patients that stress is harmful and that they just should do something about it. Now, of course, doing something about stress is absolutely true, right? Denise's talking about handling it. But what she says is that they did this study where they took 2 groups of people. They took one group, both groups claimed to have very stressful lives. The first group claimed to have stressful lives, and they believed that stress was harmful to their health. And so they filled out a form. Do you have a stressful life? Yes. Do you believe that stress is harmful to your health? Yes. And then they followed them. They tracked them over time. They took the other group who claimed to have stressful lives. You have a stressful life? Yes. Do you believe that stress is harmful to your health? No. These people did not. This group did not think it was harmful to their health. And then they tracked them over time. The people who had stressful lives who believe that stress is harmful to their health experienced a 30% increase in stress and disease related to stress. Death and disease related to stress. The people who didn't believe it was harmful to their health experienced no increase in diseases and death related to stress. It turns out it's not stress that kills you, it's the belief that stress kills you that kills you. So imagine this. Imagine you're having a stressful life and you don't believe stress is harmful. You believe it's a benefit to you. Now, the thought itself is good, but what type of can you see how your actions, your behaviors, how you deal with stress might be different if you didn't see it as something that was wrong or bad or harmful to you? Do you see how you might be better able to handle stress if you had a different perspective on what was going on?
Yeah, well, I think in your body, it's yeah, I can't believe that I've heard this before and I haven't done anything with it yet. Every time I get caught in it, I just get caught in the stress, and I just, you know, and then I'm sure I'm tense and then contracted and everything. But if you take the time to remind yourself that no, it's actually, you know, it can be very beneficial, it can be useful. So then I'm sure that just physically, I'm sure I would probably be more relaxed. So that would definitely have, you know, a consequence on I'm sure, on how I deal with stress. I would probably have more ideas of, you know, be more creative, or, yeah, the minute you're more open, it just, it gives you more solutions, I think.
That's right. What do you think, Dimitri? If you have this belief, how would you say, what do you think is a good way to handle stress? You talked about it's not stress that's harmful, it's how you handle it. What is the beginning to handling stress?
Well, if you're not afraid of stress, then you'll make the right decision. You'll be moving forward. When you see stress as bad, you actually see the whole process. You're actually taking in that stress but not letting it out. And that's what creates the problem. So a good way is to see, am I taking action? Because sometimes there's a difference between knowing, by knowing the stuff, and really feeling the stuff. So you may think that stress is good or bad for you, but in your heart you might say something different. So if when you're stressed you're not taking any action, it means that deep down you believe stress is bad for you. If you're taking action, it means that you're actually fighting stress. So it's not what you say, it's really what you feel, what your heart tells you. Because what's that word where you know something but you don't act it? It's
you're not being coherent?
There's a word where you have a belief but you don't act it out.
I know what you're saying. The way I've heard it is that you understand it on an intellectual level, but not on a feeling level.
Exactly.
I think that's sort of like what Valerie was saying. Like, you know it, but you don't believe it. Like, it's not really a part of you, and so the information doesn't really affect to the degree that you're wanting. The process that you're talking about, I sort of see it as a part of alchemy. You talked about alchemy. It's this transmutation of form. You can actually receive an input that is stressful, and then you can convert it through you, and you convert it through your beliefs and through your actions. Now, you talked about fear, and I want to bring up the word that is similar to it in energetically, resentment. So you talked about this word. I feel like a lot of people resent the stress that they're in. They resent the bad thing that's happening in their life. They resent the pressure that they're feeling. And because they do that, whether you're feeling fear or resentment, when you feel that way, you actually are paralyzing yourself. You talked about the word. You said the word contracted, Valerie. You're really holding yourself up. You're bottling it up, and like Dimitri said, you're not letting it out. You're not letting it out by allowing the stress to modify your behavior, to do something about it. And the reason we do that, because we have fear and resentment, is because I've noticed this very interesting thing, and it's hard for me to communicate because a lot of people, I think, disagree with me, and they don't really understand what I'm saying. I feel like people believe that everything should work out. Everything should be fine and should be happy all the time. And when it doesn't work out, even if it's slightly, the waiter doesn't give you your water in time, you feel outrage. You feel like, how dare they? How is it possible that life isn't exactly the way that I want it to be? You feel this sort of inner resentment for what's going on, and I don't really understand that. I don't know why people feel like everything should go right all the time. I say that because I know that personally, every idea that I've had, anything that was worthwhile, anything that I achieved, always had a process of enjoyment and stress, enjoyment and stress, enjoyment and stress. It's always this sort of pressure versus release that kind of formed my experience. And if it wasn't for all the questions, the doubt, the fear, the sadness, the loneliness that I felt in my life, then I wouldn't be seeking after the complementary energies. I wouldn't be seeking after something that would, resolve that equation, that would resolve that feeling. I meet some people who never really had anything bad happen in their life, never really had anything wrong, and they don't really do much. They don't really have purpose. They don't really have intentions. They don't really have anything, because what moves you is your discomfort where you are, or your awareness that things could be better. And when you're aware that things could be better, you're acknowledging that things aren't the way you want them to be. But if you, instead of focusing on where you can go, you're focusing on how bad things are and how much this sucks and I don't like this and this shouldn't be, then you're cutting yourself off at the knees. You're preventing yourself the energy, the impetus that will move you towards what you're wanting. So I know you guys want to say something real quick. I want to say for Betty, who's watching, hopefully, or watching later, you're dealing with stress. You're dealing with stress. The first thing you want to do is not try to get rid of stress, or I got to find some way to get it out of my life. It's by finding a way to accept what's going on for the value that it provides. And the way to do that is by creating a habit of appreciation, a habit of recognizing the good things about what's happening in your life. Not only recognizing it in your mind, but appreciation means to find enjoyment, to really feel the value of what's going on. And I would say if you can't find value in what you're doing, and this is the hard part, stop doing it. But I can't stop doing it because my parents need me to do it. I can't stop doing it because it's an obligation. I can't stop doing it because it needs to be done. Well, those things, I think, are the distractions in life that keep us where we are. And if you're willing enough to say, if you're willing to displease others, then I think you're going to really experience freedom. If you're willing to not live up to someone else's standards, but live up to your own, then I think you're going to experience the freedom that you're looking for. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Don't tell me it's all been said. I got to be wrong on some level. Dimitri, tell me how I'm wrong.
I agree with what you said. When someone experiences stress and they're dwelling on it, it's because that stress is bringing up pain that they experienced in the past. And it's a question of learning to accept your pain. Your pain might be emotional, your pain may be physical. But whatever it is, it's the person who's able to accept their pain is able to look beyond what's happening and concentrate on their goal. The person who doesn't accept their pain is really looking at the situation and not looking past towards the solution.
That's right.
So what you said before is right. Acceptance, being able to forgive, to accept the situation, not that easy to do. But the more you do it, the more you're able to accept your pain and move forward. So
I agree with you. Yeah, I like what you're saying. Here's the thing that's hard for people to understand, and this is why it can be hard to stop dwelling on your stressful situations. And I know people are going to disagree with me, but hear me. It's never your circumstances that are causing you to feel that way. It's always your perspective, how you're viewing those circumstances that cause you to feel that way. If you realize that important point, then you're going to stop blaming the circumstances and you're going to ask yourself, the circumstances that I'm experiencing that I don't like, what are they bringing out in me? So Dimitri says they're causing you to remember a past situation or bringing up some old wounds or whatever it is. And I would say that it's causing you, it's amplifying a belief that you have, a belief that says that thing is upsetting me. That thing is upsetting me. And the moment you do that, you give away your power. You say, I'm allowing that thing to upset me. I'm allowing it to accept me. Now, there's a whole world of difference between being stressed and believing it's caused by some outside force and feeling stress and it being caused by an inside force. Because you can't control the outside world. You never can. You can influence it, but you can't control it. The only control that you do have is over your inner experience. So if instead of giving the responsibility or the blame to the outside, you give the blame or the responsibility to yourself, then you actually put yourself in the driver's seat where you can do something about it. So I know I don't have a magic wand that says this is how you zap away stress. But what I can tell you is the only thing that you can do for stress management, you have to go inwards and ask yourself, how am I responsible for how I'm feeling? Now, it's not going to always be obvious, but it will almost always be the result of a belief that you have. The beliefs that we have are imprinted on us when we're children. The beliefs that we have are grown because of experiences that we've had, trauma that we've had, pain that we had. But all of our experiences in the past, they create a matrix of beliefs in your mind. And when you receive input from the world, whether positive or negative, it activates elements within that matrix. It activates beliefs and thought structures, and it gives you the opportunity to change that. So 3 of my shows got tanked. One because of audio problems, other because of technical problems, other because of a user issue. And I felt very, very discouraged. 3 episodes, that's 3 weeks worth of shows done. And I asked myself, well, how am I responsible for that? Right? I could blame Google, I could blame this or that, but how am I responsible for it? How am I responsible for how I feel? And I realized the shows can be gone, and I don't have to feel bad. Right? I don't have to feel bad. There's no reason why I need to feel bad. But for some reason, I got stuck there for a few days. I got stuck there for a short amount of time because I was dwelling not on what could be, not on the lesson that I'm learning, not on what how I've grown, but of what I've lost and the pain that I'm experiencing now. And so when your attention is on, so I like to tell people, look, if you wake up in the morning and you don't have some purpose in life, something that you're moving towards, I think you're going to be easily distracted by things that don't go well. I really do. I think if you don't have something meaningful in your life, it's so easy for an insult, a comment here, a circumstance there to get you down, because what else are you going to pay attention to? What else is drawing your attention? What will cause you to look to the future? What will cause you to move your attention from what's going on here now? And I know the reason I was able to get out of it is because I am fully engaged with my projects. I'm fully engaged with things that I love, and I'm always looking forward. And so it's almost impossible for me to dwell for too long on the present, on what's going on right now. And I use my passion and my joy, and I bring the future here now so that I can enjoy that process as opposed to dwelling on what's not going well. And
something? When you mentioned, you said you were not concentrating on, or for a minute you just focused on what you lost.
Right.
But I would say on what you thought you lost.
That's right.
Because again, it was, you had decided how it was supposed to be, and when it was not the way you thought it was supposed to be, this is when you got upset. And you taught me that, along with the people in group discussions, that if you're not attached to an end result, or even if you are and then you're disappointed, but then if you really ask the question as soon as possible, whenever you can, and you say, okay, well, wait a minute, maybe whatever happened or whatever is happening right now, maybe it's better than what I thought should have happened. And maybe there's a gift there, So when you look at it and you open yourself up to that, I think it makes a big difference.
Right, and isn't that acceptance, right? Isn't that you accept what's going on because you're not tolerating. I think a lot of people think acceptance is tolerating something that's not going well. Acceptance is not toleration. Acceptance is really truly recognizing that there is value in what's going on, that it's never over, that it's not some collapsed structure. Like even if things are not going the way you're wanting to go, it's still valuable. It's still a good thing. It's an experience that you can grow from. And so acceptance is recognizing that everything has value. Every moment has value. There's not a single second of your life that doesn't have value. And it's only when we lose sight of that we feel bad. But when we regain sight of that, when we return to our insight, then we can truly accept what's going on. Not because we like what's going on, but because we recognize its value.
Right.
I was listening to a time management program. It's an 11-hour program. And I listened only the first 3 hours, and they were saying one of the key things to dramatically change your life is to blame yourself for everything that happens to you, what you just said before. And that is like incredible how it shifts your perception, and then all of a sudden you have control over everything.
Right.
Another thing is when you're feeling down and because things are not going your way, the best thing you can do for a dramatic change is to just close your eyes and to locate where you're feeling down. Most of the time it's your heart. And just bring love energy in that area. And what happens is the love is just removing anger, because the source of most of the things that are putting you down is anger. So when you do that, the love is removing the anger inside of you a lot faster. But this is hard when you're in the moment. But if you could do it, you'll make tremendous breakthrough and move forward faster than just letting it live on its own. Another thing is when you're working with other people, you have to make sure that you're not revengeful. A lot of times they say something and you feel, oh, I have to win, I don't want him to win. That's a form of revenge, because he beat me last time, I'm not going to let him win. And then you're moving away from your goal, and it's like a personal vendetta to beat that person. You could say it's competitiveness, but I see it more of a revenge. He got me, now I'm going to get him.
Makes sense.
So the whole idea is very important to accept and have a loving feeling towards everybody, and not have revengeful thoughts, because revenge is not really a way of, okay, like you beat the other person, but big deal, you shifted away from your goal. If beating the other person means losing the opportunity of being successful at meeting your goal, you've lost. So that's the key to be able to forgive and just concentrate. Okay, what do I have to do to reach my goal? No personal vendettas, no revenge. If I have to go in that direction and beat that person, okay, but I'm doing it to reach my goal. I'm not doing it for revenge purposes. And to think like that is very powerful.
I agree. Everything that you're saying is absolutely true. We talked about something like this in our forgiveness episode, in a past episode, and I like to tell people forgiveness is not about the other person. You're not forgiving them because of them. You're forgiving them for you. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're letting yourself be free of the grudge, of the revenge, of the resentment. It's forgiveness, letting people go, letting go of being right. This has nothing to do with telling the other person that you agree with them, and it has everything to do with being free yourself. And what you said about bringing love energy, the way I see that, I see it exactly the same. I think when you remind yourself of your purpose, meaning what you love, what you're aiming towards, what you care about, that to me is the love energy. And so whenever I feel down, or I'm dwelling on something that's not going well, I just remind myself of my greater purpose, my greater intention, and I feel such love for it that it transforms me where I ache, you know? I bring that into me. So I do that too. What you're saying is perfect. You close your eyes for a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you need, and you just remind yourself, it could be of love energy or what your purpose is. What is it that you care about, you know? Sometimes all I can think about is how I love my mother, or how I miss my cat and all the wonderful things my cat did, or the last time I did it very well. This is something that I do, and I really encourage other people to do it. I've built a place in my mind, a place I go in my mind. I've said this on previous shows, where I have a garden, I go fishing, I have a campfire, I'm in the woods, and if I can't find anything to be joyful about, I just go to that place. Right? If I'm going to bed at night and my head is swimming, I just go to that place and I sit down and I fish. And I've done it so often that the place has become real. Like, I don't have to imagine it anymore. I just go there. And there I leave messages for myself. I plant things, and when I come back, they're grown. I speak into the wilderness and I ask for answers. And that's a powerful thing to do. So I understand that in the moment, it may be difficult to deal with a stressful situation, but if you practice closing your eyes, going inwards, creating a place, finding purpose, reminding yourself of what you want, then when you practice that, when the negative situation happens, it actually becomes way easier to, in the moment, do it, right? I had this experience. I worked at a call center. I get these calls and people are yelling at you on the phone. Well, every single time I got a call of somebody who was irate, even if they weren't yelling, I did my best to love them. I did my best to appreciate them. I did my best to empathize with them. So that when the big call came that said, I'm going to sue you, call the police, what is your name? Then I didn't have to suppress my anger because it was not there. I had already practiced. And that's why I started off by saying my answer to almost everything, if you want to change anything or create anything, you want to tap into the power of habit. Habit is how evolution is created, is how all things are created, small things over time. If you ask yourself, how did I become the person that I am? How did I develop the beliefs that I have? How did I become who I am in this present moment? It's always a habit over time. And so you ask, how am I going to change that? You have to develop a new habit over time. But you're not going to do it if you care more about what's going on now than what could be. And you're not going to care about what could be if you don't have some intention, some purpose, a flow, something that you're directing yourself to. And so I was sitting in a meetup one time. I love this girl. I love that she asked me this question. She says, how do I get rid of my negative thoughts? I want to think positive thoughts. I said, if you could get rid of your negative thoughts, what would you think about? She said, I don't know. And I said, well, what's the mystery there? No wonder it's so difficult to get rid of your negative thoughts. You have nowhere else to put it. And so give yourself a reason. And that's why we do the Appreciationist. Every week, we give ourselves a reason to feel appreciation. Not because it's always easy to set time aside to do this, but because we recognize the value in creating this habit. And I think both of you, and certainly I have expressed the benefit that the show provides because of the habit that it introduces in our week. Look, I think there's a lot more that we can say about this. What do you guys feel like we've talked about it enough?
We'll talk about it some more in some other shows, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank Beatty for providing us this subject. It was certainly much needed for me. One thing I know for sure that helps me above anything else is to help someone else. So that's why I was a little late for the show today. I was out meeting with a friend who himself he's starting this wonderful idea about creating a new country. Can you imagine that? He wants to create a new country, and he's going to create a documentary in order to get it done. And so helping other people is really a good way of getting things done. Make a sandwich, go out, give it to a homeless person. Don't give it to a homeless person near your house, or they're always going to expect sandwiches. So find someone a little further away. That's just my little tip for you. But to have some fun with that. I want to thank you, Dimitri. I want to thank you, Valerie.
I just want to say one more thing on the time management. One thing also is, just when you think you found those techniques, something happens that makes all these techniques you're using invalid.
Yeah.
And that's on purpose, because what happens is your ability to control your state is different levels, and once you're able to overcome one level, then the universe creates situations to get you to the next level. So the minute, like, you never finish with these techniques, you always have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And just to say, not to get discouraged, sometimes you're working on it, you're getting progress, and all of a sudden nothing works. It means you just went to another level. Very
good. I love that. I don't know if it was you who told me this, but someone told me this. The moment that, I think this is Louis C.K. His mother was a teacher or something like that, and he had to do his homework, and he would get to these moments where he was like, I can't figure it out. And she said, the moment that you feel like, I've hit a wall I can't figure out, you're about to transcend your barrier. You're about to learn. You're about to discover something new. So don't be discouraged. And it helped him in what he's doing, and it will help us in what we're doing. Just make peace. Accept that the process of evolution requires both positive and negative. And it's the way we transform and transmute those experiences that make us the people that we want to be. I want to be more like Dimitri. I want to be more like Valerie. Thank you very much for participating with the show. You guys made it great.
Thank you, everyone, both of you.
Wait.
Yes.
What do we have for supper?
That's right.
Yes. What's for dinner, guys?
I already had dinner.
What was it?
I had a piece of cheese and some green peas. That's it.
Well, you say it like it's not good. I love cheese.
Yeah, it was good. And I had some cookies. No, I think I'm going to eat some more. Anyway.
Cool.
What about you guys?
Dimitri, it's been long enough. I think...
I'm having a steak
and
salad.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right. You must appreciate it so much.
I'm having some barbecue chicken and some Alfredo pasta. It's going to be good. Mwah.
Nice.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a nice night.
You too.
Bye. Have a good week, guys.
You too. You guys are great. What's for dinner? I almost forgot that. Can you imagine? Thank you so much, Dimitri, for reminding me. I want to let you guys know real quick what's coming up for us. September 14th, this Sunday, we're having a Jamboree fundraising party in the park. Come out, hang with us. Some people are going to be bringing their instruments. So if you want to play, you can get on board with that. We're going to have a really fun time. I'm going to be talking to strangers on the mountains. If you want to see me sweat in front of strangers, come out and help support the cause. We're going to be just having a fun time. You don't have to contribute any money if you don't have any. Don't worry about it. You can just come and have a good time. The more people that's there, the more we'll attract the crowd. And I really want to spread this message of hope and optimism to the world. September 21st, we have the Happy for a Change Toronto event. So if you're in the Toronto area, we'll be doing an event there for Happy for a Change. Tickets are going to be on sale tonight or tomorrow morning. I think it's tonight. It better be tonight. And then we have some wonderful guest speakers. You can find that on happyforachange.com/tour. That's happyforachange.com/tour. Once again, I want to thank you. This has been Appreciationist. I've been Peter, your host, and you've been seeing Dimitri and Valerie, and the question was asked by Beatty. Thank you very much for that. I hope you're watching it. I hope it helped. And look, tune in next week for another episode of The Appreciationist at 7 p.m. Take care. Time. Bye-bye. Have fun. See you later. Thank you for watching. Sometimes I wonder, how long can I talk before people just sort of click away and hang up? I think you're already gone. Take care. Bye.